Hi, everyone, and happy Sunday night. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend and you are looking forward to the week ahead because it's the last week before the winter break. I know that we have all been just itching to get to this point. This year has been a wild ride. So many of us have been carrying way too much work. Many of you have been carrying 3 courses through these quadmesters, and that's a lot. So I really, really hope that you take these next few weeks leading into winter break and leading into January and a new year to just rest and to be and to get away from your screens and just enjoy time, kind of, again, away from technology. Make sure that you make that a priority. I think it's extraordinarily important now more than ever. So this week is obviously our last week leading into the winter break. When we come back in January, we're going to be finishing up the last unit of the course, the first few days. And then we're actually going to be jumping right into our final 30%. And we do spend the majority of January on the 30%, okay? This week, you're going to be required to review a little bit of information about your final 30, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And then you've got some lessons to go through. You're going to do your final blog post of the entire course. And then you have 2 last discussion posts, and these will be your final discussion posts of the entire course. So again, this is pretty awesome because you can really start to see that we're wrapping up the course completely by the end of this week, okay? So this is really important that you look through and listen to this video and look through this content. Now, when we come back in January, I'm going to be introducing the final 30, but you may want to actually start wrapping your head around it over the winter break because you're going to be required to actually read a novel. Okay, so what I've done here is I've highlighted a little bit of information about that. Okay, so for your final performance task, you're going to be you are going to be reading a novel that relates to business. So I've given this hyperlink this document in here for you to look at. And it really gives you like an example of, or a list of different examples of books that you could choose from. So what you might want to do before you come back in January is to go through this list and to actually just choose a novel that you think that you would really like to read, and then make sure that you get that ordered. So whether you want to order it on like your e-reader, or you can order it on Amazon or purchase it through iTunes, or you can also buy books on Book Outlet, which is just a used bookstore online, which is fantastic. I purchase books from there all the time for my son. So check out that. And then basically what you're going to do obviously you'll find out more details later about what this final performance task is all about, but you're going to be researching a motivational book on leadership, management, business, success, etc. Okay, so some examples of really great well-known leaders in business include Simon Sinek, Millennials in the Workplace, Seth Godin, Daniel Pink, okay? And what you're going to do is once you select this novel, you're going to sign up for what book you're going to choose. And the sign-up sheet has actually been linked into here as well. So you can actually just open this up directly through here. And I've also included that in the weekly breakdown as well. So book sign-up sheet. So you can go right into that and you fill that in with the book that you want to select as well as your name. And then when I go through, I'll check it off and give that approval. So there's only going to be 1 book per student in this class. So it's first come, first serve. So again, you may want to get on this sooner than later if there's a book that you would really, really be interested in reading. And I do recommend you might want to start reading it over the winter break so that you're not coming back in January with all of these assignments and on top of that having to read an entire book. So that's why I'm just rolling that out for you guys now for something to just like think about that you could do just easily and like slowly over the winter break, just reading even 10 minutes a day. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of different examples of books that have been listed here that you could choose from, but you could really, and like the list goes on and on and on and on and on. There's so many great ones out there, but you can really choose anything and go for it and find something that you think would be really interesting and that would speak to you. Okay. Now, I do recommend part of the requirement of this final performance task is that you're also going to be submitting a Google document of the notes that you've taken from this book as you read it. So if you're going to read the book throughout the winter break, also you might want to open up a Google document and just start making notes so that you don't have to go back through the book in the end. Okay? So that's just a little bit of something to think about moving forward. Again, you don't have to do this over the winter break. This is something that we're going to be doing as soon as we get back in January. But again, if you're carrying 3 courses right now and you come back in January and you don't want to be completely overwhelmed, this is maybe something really easy that you can do over the winter break for this course that will set you up for success in January. Okay? And otherwise, there will be no homework for this course over the winter break. Okay? So moving on with the rest of this week, you're going to be completing your final blog post of the week. And this is going to be based on the article that was assigned to you last week, the Effort is a Myth, or Is Effort a Myth article. And this was written by Seth Godin. So he's one of the speakers or the inspirational, motivational business thinkers that I just referred to. Anyways, the reading was assigned to you last week. So you would have done that last week. So you've got to refer back to that reading. And then for this is your final post of your entire blog. So I also recommend that if there's anything else that you want to add to your blog or refine about your blog, this is going to be your final mark. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to mark your blog as an entire entity, as a final blog product. Okay, so you're going to do your final post, and then you're going to just fine tune any loose ends on your blog that you might want to fine tune. Submit as your very final submission. Don't forget to republish your blog. Okay, so if you go in there and you type up this blog post and then you don't republish it, when I go into the link to mark your blog, I'm not going to see your post. So just make sure that you do that. Okay? And then the questions for you to answer based on this reading are here for you as well. Okay? So it's a pretty lengthy blog post. On Tuesday, you've got a lesson to work through. So as always, you're going to go through the lesson and you're going to take course notes. A reminder that you do have a final test in this course, and anything that's going to be on that test is going to be heavily weighted from the first test onwards. So you really do want to be making good notes on this test, okay, from these notes for that test. You've got another lesson, corporate social responsibility. Again, go through the lesson, take really, really good notes. Make sure that you watch all of the videos and take notes on those videos as well. And then you've got your second last discussion post. This has been posted under discussions. As always, you answer the questions, you make connections to the course content and the lesson, and then you ask one question of your peers and you comment on at least 2 peer posts. We're going to replicate that exact same thing on Thursday. Your last lesson, this is actually your last lesson of the course. And all these last things. Again, go through it, take really good notes, watch any of the videos, take really good notes on the videos. All of this stuff is going to be heavily tested on your final test. Then you have your last discussion post. It's also a lengthy one. Make connections to the lesson. Show me that you went through the lesson and you watched the videos. Ask one question of your peers. Comment on 2 peer posts. Don't forget to do your final participation activity from this week, from 2020, the year that was. Okay, make sure you fill that in for your attendance check. Friday is just a day to wrap up everything. I'm treating it like it's our last day of classes in school, so it's party time. You're going to take that day to wrap everything up. I know everything is due on Monday at 8 a.m., but if it were me, I would try to get all of this done by Friday so that you could just officially go on break. Okay, so that should be your goal. Okay, so you've got, to sum that up, your final blog post and submission and republishing. There is no submission for this, by the way. It's just making sure that you do the post and republish your blog. There's 3 lessons to take really good notes. Okay, make sure that you do that. And 2 discussion posts where you're making strong connections to those lessons. Okay, that's it. If you guys have any questions, and of course, go through that content on the book selection stuff and think about that for over the winter break. So as always, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I will be sending you a mark update this week again, so you see where you stand as you go into the winter break. But again, if you have any questions, let me know. And I just hope you all have a fantastic break. Okay, I'll see you in 2021. Hallelujah.